Hey, everyone.
There's quite a bit of delay. All right, we're on. Go ahead, Charlie.
Hey, everyone. Sawmill Charlie. Well, I'm on Bill's channel tonight. I didn't know whether I would make it in back from my family get together. So I did make it back within about 15 or 20 minutes of show time. So I figured, well, everybody's here on Bill's. We'll just stay right here for the rest of the night. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. Right here in Maryland, we've got rain, and luckily I got home tonight with my truck, and my driveway out here is a solid sheet of ice. So it wasn't icy at the other place, but it sure was here. So that's what we're putting up with weather-wise. Hopefully tomorrow will be, I think it's supposed to be clear.
Yeah, they're talking about Monday being in the 60s.
Really?
Yeah, I hope so, because I got to go to Pennsylvania Monday.
Got to pick up some supplies.
Yeah, I'm picking up stuff for Nobby Monday, and then on Friday, I'm headed to North Carolina to pick up some Manel stuff, and I've had a few orders, last-minute orders come in. Orders are closed.
Hey,
so, hey, Bill Lee, Highland.
Yeah, it's Pete.
Odd House. Grandpa Clay is on here tonight.
Yeah, I seen his video. He took his steel patio porch furniture and turned it into an open feeder station.
Yeah, I saw that too.
He must have had Clay must have had some really nice warm weather when that was happening.
I think his weather has been warmer than ours have been. We had some warm weather on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And other than that, it's been fairly chilly here.
Well, I checked my hives Christmas Day about 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that. What I did was I didn't check them all. I checked the ones behind the barn that didn't have any coverings on. I opened them up and I pulled a frame up and see. I was checking stores, and they got, pulled the frame up. Might have had some bees on there, or you pulled the frame up and the bees are down in the next box. You could see them down in there, and then just put it back together. I had plenty of stores, on all the boxes that I checked, because I get the listed in people like Matt and different ones where they're using fondant, and I'm going to say that they have a different feeding protocol than what I do. And where I hit them hard and heavy with lots and lots of sugar water in September into October, some people might give them some, but they don't give them as much as I do. Or I feel like a lot of times I'll hear they'll say they'll use juice jars, as I call them, the quart jars or whatever, mason jars. And I used to listen to the guy up in Vermont, what's his name, Michael Palmer, and he said that is constricting as far as trying to get them to pack that sugar water away.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom and Melissa. So anyway, that I do it that way. I seem to have no problems having plenty of food, probably up to about the 1st of February. Then after that, I'm looking. Well, you figure, what is it? About halfway through January, she starts to lay.
Yeah, it depends on the weather. Yeah, halfway through January, middle of February, something like that.
Well, yeah, I'd say by the beginning of February for sure. Hey, Pastor Larry, and so anyway, hey, Robert. I checked, everything's fine. Then I'll check them again, after Nobby sometime. It depends on how cold it's going to be.
Yeah. We did treat.
Yeah, I did that. I did that. When did I do that?
Yeah, we did it Christmas.
I did it. Yeah, I did it last Saturday, I guess it was.
Yeah, the wife treated Christmas Eve here at the house, and then we went down to one of our out yards and treated that out yard. Um, so we're completely caught up on treatments right now. So we'll treat again after we get back from Nobby. We'll treat again.
Well, yeah, I checked my drop boards before I treated. It was a Saturday afternoon, late Saturday afternoon, I guess it was, about 2 o'clock by the time I got the treatment done. Hey, Sandy, how's everything out in Icy Mountain? I'm sure you got plenty of snow and ice out there.
Yeah, I'm sure you do too. Hey, Mr. Miller, how are you tonight?
Hey, Mark.
DC.
But icy, yeah, it's icy here too, Sandy. And not too bad. I mean, the main roads seem to be fine. I got home tonight here only a half an hour ago, and but here, when I got out of my truck, I had to sort of almost crawl across the parking lot to get into the grass, to get into where it's safe.
Wow.
And I had to hold on to stuff and finally jump into the grass. But so I checked the coroplast boards and scraped them off, to clean them off for the next treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And I always look at them and stuff, and I look the position of the trash where they're eating and all. And hey, Brian, and I might have seen, out of all the hives, I might have seen a mite here and a mite there on not on every hive. I might have seen 2 or 3 mites on one hive on the board, and then the rest of them, I couldn't detect any of them. That's how minimal amount of them they were. Hey, Rick. And so anyway, it worked good. I mean, as far as the last vapor, I think my mite count is very, very, very low. Hey there, Ryan. And pictures of your little girls there. They sure are cute little girls. And I'd mentioned that one photograph, but the Christmas photograph. But so anyway, everything's under control as far as the bees go.
That's good.
You better drop the link.
Oh, yeah. Typically, I've already done that. I got it. It is pinned to the top. Anybody that wants to join us, the link is pinned to the top. So, yeah, we all the bees are doing good. We've got 2 hives that are, I'd say, closer to the top than the rest. And then we've got a couple others, smaller hives that are in the middle. So,
well, I don't know. Some of them are at the top, but depends on where they're some of the hives I've seen I pulled the lid off of, they were clustered over here off to the right hand side or something like that.
Yeah.
It kind of depends. And I also noticed that over the years where the positioning of the sun, where the most sun is, that's where they're going to be at. That's where the most warmth is at.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Christmas Day, those bees, it was warm here Christmas Day. It was in the 50s.
And it was just barely in the 50s here.
Yeah. And all of our bees were out flying. And I do mean flying.
Now ours were flying, but not strong, I'll say. Hey, James.
There's the ghost himself.
I
The ghost of Christmas past, present, and future.
heard that. You were talking about being in the bees. I was in them Christmas Eve. I went through 60 of them, and they were flying and moving and looking pretty good.
Yep. So I don't dare go in a bee yard right now. I got 4 toes hanging out bare. I don't feel like getting tore up.
Hey, Clay.
Well, you
So
get
it sounds like you've got quite a few hives that you've got ready to go to California.
Well, I'm sitting around 40, 44, something like that. So I'm trying to make sure that whatever I send is gonna for sure make grade.
Yeah.
And it was tough because they were clustered up. Certainly in the morning. Christmas Eve they were tight, but no, I'm feeling pretty good with what I got. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm happy you got that many to go, because I know you were sweating it there for a while.
yeah, I think we've both been sweating it a little bit. Rob's been sweating, I've been sweating, but it is what it is. I think we're going to try and get them. We were talking about getting them loaded up Friday and taking them down to the staging yard Saturday. So
Okay.
the time is coming.
Next week, you mean?
Yep.
Well, I hope you have good luck with them. Hope I'll make it out there.
Yeah, we'll see. You don't know till you roll the dice, I guess.
Yeah.
And now you got to get a hold of you. You said you're out there, whatever that town name was, and
Yeah.
you'll have to get a hold of Todd. He can go out and check them for you.
Well, it sounds like Todd's not that terrible far away from him.
About 30 minutes away.
Yeah, Chowachilla, California, or something like that. I think
something like that.
Yeah. I'd be glad to go out there and check them for you.
So
he can do a video for us.
Yeah.
I'm kind of anxious to meet him. I think he's coming into Nobby.
Yeah, he is. Yep.
We've talked a number of times on the phone and stuff. So
yeah.
So I've been thinking about what we were talking about the other day, about taking that small trailer and setting it up to do kind of local pollination around here.
Yep.
I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, just think it through.
Yep. So that way I can come over the side, put a brace down the middle, 4x4 brace down the middle. And that way I've got underneath to store boxes and stuff.
Yep.
And just I can walk right down between them on the top and
yeah,
work
if you think that'd be real nice if you could work them from the inside, from the center, from the back side.
Yeah.
What trailer is that, Bill?
I got a little landscape trailer.
Yeah.
A little small one. That I was thinking about doing that too.
Yeah. That's what Jason Crook over here, he bought. There's a guy, his name was Oliver, and he had a pollination service on the eastern shore of Maryland, and he had designed these trailers and had them built. And I'm going to say he must have had maybe 20 of them or more. And I know Jason's got 5 or 6 of them. And like you say, the hives are on outer edges, then you walk down the center of them and all. And then you just drop the whole trailer and you're right there.
I always thought a hay trailer would work good for that too. You could set them on the outside and walk the centers.
You're not normally going to put a honey super on, right? I doubt it. You had it to where it had like a sort of like a catwalk in the middle where it's low and the highs
Yeah,
are a little bit high. That would be nice.
that's my plan right now.
Yeah, because your landscape trailer, what, it has 12-inch sides on it or something, and you were going to set the hives up that height.
Yep.
That way you don't have to squat so hard to get into them.
Yeah, and then I got to looking at it, and if I do this the right way, the fenders, the wheels are on the outside with the fenders on it. I can just lay that 3/4 inch plywood right down on it, and have a little bit wider walkway work area,
Mm-hmm.
and that way I'm right at where the fenders are at, because it's got lights on the fenders, so the marker lights and everything are already on the trailer, so why not?
I like the idea of having some storage underneath them too.
Yeah, I do too.
You never have enough room for bee stuff.
Yeah, and I'll just, that little short distance that it sits out there, it's maybe 8 inches that it sits out over the fender.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just, on the corners, weld a brace up, put a piece of angle iron up there and then weld a brace up to it on each corner so it supports it
Mm-hmm.
to carry the weight. So, and hell, it might just take W clips and fasten them down on that.
That'd be pretty sweet. Put it right down on it, and that way they're not going anywhere.
Yep. And then when I go to move them, just run a strap from back to front, and they're strapped
keep the
down.
lids on.
Yep.
Yep.
So
I've seen some of those trailers you were talking about, Charlie. They almost look like they're made out of almost maybe a pipe frame or something like that.
yeah,
I think these were made out of angle iron or something.
Oh,
yeah,
were they?
they're angle iron.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I never really took close look at them, but like you say, the guy designed them and built them, and he was at a speaker at our club years ago when I first started, and talked about, your people talk about how much honey you get, but he says you don't. He says you get some things you got to feed these bees or they'll starve on you, because they all they're getting is pollen out of whatever they're pollinating. Now he's around the New Jersey area, and you got a lot of vegetable fields over there, pumpkins and I don't know, cucumbers and things like that. And then he said for so many weeks he would be working at night all the time, where he must have been close enough by to where the fields were close enough to where he would take a trailer from this field and run 4 miles down the road, drop it in another field that he had a trailer in, but place it in a different spot to get the bees to get over closer to the area they need pollinated. Pull that trailer out and come back up to the same field and drop it over in the field another place,
Yeah.
That's what he did all the time.
Well, he was running, he could run like 30 some hives on that, couldn't he?
I think it was 20 hives.
Is that what it was? I've seen a couple of them that look pretty big.
Yeah, if I do this trailer right and I put the W clips on them, I can get 5, maybe 6 down each side.
Yeah.
That sounds decent.
Yeah.
Jason is taking, he had gotten into the Apame hives where you can just pull the little sliders across and stuff.
Yeah.
I think he outfitted that thing with 20 of them. And
that's spending some money.
Oof. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Number 8 hardware cloth works good in a couple staples.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So, and then, the other thought was, after I got off the phone with you and we were talking about it, was if I did that and did it with nuke boxes, double deep nukes.
Mm-hmm.
I could put, I think I figured out I can get 12 down each side. If I
I
did,
don't know how they'd go down the road, if they'd stay together or not.
what?
I guess if you wedged them right, nuke boxes stacked double deep.
Yeah, if you put them in the put them on the board right, when you put that strap over them, they're going to stay there.
Yeah, if you have W clips on them, and
Yeah. Or if you didn't want that many down through there and you spaced them out a little bit more, you could get I call them cabinet twist locks. It's like you put on a cabinet or something like that.
oh, like on a winded almost,
Yeah. Put
ratchet
a
it
twist
together.
lock on it, and that'll hold it on there. So it'll hold the upper box on there.
Right.
You ever see that 90-degree bent cardboard they use for packing sometimes?
Yep.
And a wrap of clear frickin', what is
Yep.
it, shrink wrap around it? You know, the
Yep.
stretch pull tight stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Something to think about.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they're talking in the chat about the power going out. I've been kind of wondering and waiting. It was raining, then it was sleeting, and then it was raining real hard when I came in.
Yeah, see, all we got this morning was a little bit of freezing rain, and then just before I talked to you is when it quit.
Okay.
Yeah, this morning it was clear.
Yeah. The wind's blowing
It
now.
never rained here till about almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it started raining up here around 2.
Yeah, it seemed like to me that most of the storm has went up north of us.
Okay.
And it's raining out there right now, but like I say, my parking lot's froze.
It's funny, Charlie, because we think up here that the storms always go south.
I watch the radar and it all goes up.
Yeah.
So I had a good question tonight before the program started from Dustin Weed or Weddy. He wanted to know the good points and the bad points of the dual queen system. And when you say dual queen system to me, you're talking about those keeper hives that have the 2 brood boxes and then the stack in the center.
Yeah, I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the main thing that I found with them is one of the queens off the left or the right would be gone because they smelt the other queen, and stuff like that.
Yeah. And, I got to thinking about it. I guess the drawback is, like you said, or one side swarms, and if they do create a queen, now you got to worry about the virgin getting over there with the other queen and losing her to a swarm. Or the other side won't create a queen because they have a queen, because those bees can travel back and forth between the 2.
Yeah, and then talking to Brad up in Manitoba, they do 3 6-frame nukes with a stack up the center that all 3 boxes can go. He said a lot of times that center nuke is queenless because of that brood smell and stuff, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
The pheromones, from the other queens.
Yep.
And all. So,
But the good points would be, honey production and bee production for sure. Because if you got 2 queens laying, you're gonna get a huge workforce. But you have to be very, very careful with them.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a good idea. And then George, who invented all that, or marketed it, I'll say,
came up with the idea to do it.
Yeah. And then he had that idea, and then that kind of fizzled out a little bit. And then the Keeper's Hive, actually, there was another guy in the same club that they used to call it the J hive or the L hive, and where it was all about not having to lift.
Yeah.
And that was the whole key thing. And then he started out with this keeper's hive where they used to call it the J hive, J or L. And that's what he's got now. And it's been redefined. The different parts that you put in there so the frames don't get propylized up. They've redefined that over the last, I guess, close to 6 or 8 years.
Yeah.
You know.
And I know those keeper hives, they aren't cheap.
No.
They're expensive.
Yeah, they are expensive. And oh, I don't know. Some people like that. I'll just stick with my Demery, and I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, it could end up being, I mean, if you had the time to put into it, to work it when you were supposed to work it, and take care of them that way, it would work. But it would require a lot of time, I think. And then Brad had a good comment here.
Yeah, I agree with Brad.
No. Wrong comment.
Right
There's
above.
Brad's comment. It's strictly a hobby hive.
Yeah.
So.
And then Brad, he made a comment a couple nights ago at one of the streams, but I watched his video there. He had at least 2 to 3 frames of brood in the hive, and here it is Christmas time. And I mean big patches of brood.
Oh, wow.
Of course, he's down there in the deep, deep south. And that's why he has to requeen every year, because his queens are laying 12 months out of the year. They don't slow down there.
I'm jealous.
Didn't you brought up something the other night you wanted to talk to Brad about, but I can't remember what it was now.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
I don't remember now. You would.
I know
you were going to ask him. I don't know. I can't remember. I'll think of it though.
Ask Brad?
Yeah. We were talking about something, and you said, well, I need to ask Brad about that and see what he does.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember either.
Brad requeens in like September, October.
Oh, how often? He requeens every year.
Every year.
Yeah.
He told me that his queens will, this past summer queen, I'll say, the honey queen won't last maybe halfway through the next honey season, and it'll die. Yeah, right, Tom.
So is there going to be a dance competition?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Some hives are requeened twice. There you go.
Yeah, I forget his technique on that. He'd get, I think Brad, Brad, I want you to come on in and talk about that, but something about it, I think after the honey flow's done at a certain type of honey, I think he has multiple honey flows maybe. And then he requeens that, then goes for so many months after that, and then requeens again. Somehow.
I'm all about the fresh queens and Demery and what I can.
Yeah.
Big populations.
Hey, feather flowers. Yeah, I'm just looking at like the things that I have that I'm up against this year, where I had 4 hives go down because of queen issues. And I'm looking at that and saying to myself, okay, um, um, that it's got to be a queen issue there.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Feather Flowers, what's your name and where do you live at? What state? Yeah. So, Brad, what was it you were saying? The queen went through the winter, which you requeened that hive, what, around October, was it?
Yeah, well, the main thing is because I sell them overwinter queens.
Yeah.
So what I do, I go to all my queens that were put in September and October, and I sell them as overwinter nukes. So they're all like right now, they're all in. Some of them are in doubles, some of them in 8 frames. What I'll do, I'll go and pull all those. Like this year, I'm planning on selling. Last year I sold 30. This year I'm planning on selling 50. I'm gonna pull all those nukes and all those queens with brood and just sell them just like overwinter nukes at the end of March.
Yeah.
Because by the end of March, like right now, they got some of them are full nukes. They got
You got what, 80-degree weather down there right now?
yeah, it's 80 degrees this week.
Wow.
Now we're supposed to get.
That makes me sick. Oh my god.
What I wouldn't give to have that weather up here.
Yes.
This morning I went hunting. The low was 67 and the high was 78.
You can go
That's too
hunting
warm
in
to hunt.
shorts and a t-shirt.
But and it's supposed to be like that tomorrow. Now we are getting a little cold front coming in next week around I think Monday night. It's only gonna last like 3 days. It's supposed to get down to like
50?
30 degrees.
Oh,
But not-
well, that's the 3 days of winter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the 3 days of winter. 3 days you
Well,
have to turn the heat on
usually-
in the house.
Usually in January we get like 2 weeks. Sometime in January we'll get 2 weeks of where the highs stay around the 50s and the lows are like the 30s in the morning, and it stays like that for about 2 weeks, and then after that it's gone.
Whereabouts are you at, Brad?
In central Louisiana, like I'm at like where the boot turns.
Yep.
on the Louisiana. I'm right there in the corner in a Balls Parish.
Wow. That's
Right
great.
is that right where the shoelaces are?
Yeah, at the bottom of the shoelace.
Wow.
That's freaking great.
Yeah. So we get a lot of moisture and stuff off the river. You know, the Mississippi River borders our parish, and we got 3. We actually got 3 rivers in our parish. We got the Red and the Chafalaya that come through also. But getting back to the nukes, so come March, I'll pull all those, and some of them are at the beginning to where they're making swarm cells in the hives. So when I pull them, I just put those swarm cells in them and let them hatch out. And those will take me through the honey flow. And then when I start raising again in the end of the summer, I pinch all those that went through the honey flow. And the ones I put back in will be the ones that I sell again next year at the end of the summer.
Wow.
So basically, like 50 of my hives will go through 2 queens this year. Or if you count it in 1 year, it's actually 3. The one that I'm going to sell, the one I'm going to pinch, and then the one I'm going to leave in it.
I mean, it makes sense. You know?
So you got you're selling the March. You're selling the overed winter queen
Yeah.
with the nuke. She's already started making swarm cells. Leave them in there. What happens are they always making swarm cells then?
No, mostly I get a lot of my swarm cells out of my big hives, like the doubles and the triples. And if I get a hive that has like 10 or 12 swarm cells, I just break them apart and drop them in the hives.
Just do walkaways on them.
Yeah,
Well,
because they're gonna start making their own anyhow, which
yeah.
Yeah.
and the swarm cells are better than the emergency cells because once I pull the nuke out, there's not a lot of bees left. There's always a frame or two of a brood left with bees, but that's got to hatch out, and because I do pretty good nukes. All my nukes are full when they get them.
Yeah.
All right,
Because-
so you drop that queen cell in there. She hatches out. She makes your honey crop for you.
Mhm.
Then you pinch her off in what, September, October,
Yes, around there.
and then you graft, or
Yeah.
you have been grafting.
Yeah, I graft. Now I did. The only thing I bought some queens this past year just to put over some double screen boards, but that was just to get a different breed of bees.
Yeah, you got them from what, California, was it?
No, Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Hmm.
What breed are you trying to bring in?
Just some pure Italian. The like they all the like matter of fact, all the ones that I got from California right now, all the bees in there are golden. The
What are
queens
you
gold.
trying for with the Italians that you're looking to them?
I find they more calm down here, and
Bigger population.
they build up quick, so that way I can sell the nukes.
Okay.
Because I had some Corneolans and some I want to say some Caucasians, and they took a while to get going in the spring. As far as building up for nukes, where at the end of March, them Italians they got 5 and 6 frames of brood.
Hmm.
Me and Will here have been talking about that on the phone here last week or so, and Will's getting some Italians in, and I have gotten our carnies over the last several years. And like you say, I'm looking at, come March, April, I want them things to be super strong.
Mm-hmm.
So now I got a really good honey production hive,
Yeah.
and I can make my splits if I need to. I can pull bees out of that and make a queen cell builder.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can put bees in my put bees in 2-frame mating boxes and populate them and get them up and running for my cells. So I was thinking maybe it's better to go with go back to Italians to get the population force out of them.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you, Brad, what you were looking at. I'm looking at the Italians just because I want big populations.
Yeah.
Well,
The only downside to the Italians is they eat a lot of honey.
Yeah.
Now,
they're
when you
not.
say- are
They're
they
not very frugal in the winter.
No, they.
You're
Well,
talking
they do up here, down here. I mean, because they fly a lot, and with big populations in the winter, they're gonna eat a lot.
That's why I put a big, thick candy board on top of them.
Mm-hmm.
That way that if they run out, they still have that as a
they're
emergency.
eating a lot? It isn't the honey production; it's more so the winter stores and stuff.
Yeah.
You got to be on top of them winter store wise.
Yeah, all my like honey production hives, they stay with a deep hive on top full of honey because I put my like right before the honey flow starts, I'll push them down to the bottom box and put a queen excluder over the first box.
Yep.
And I let them fill up that second box strictly with honey, no brooding or nothing, just fill everything up with honey. And then my supers go on top of that. That way, when I pull my supers at the end of the honey flow, I pull that queen excluder out and they can have that second deep of honey. I don't even touch it.
Yeah.
And that way you save on sugar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't touch the top box or the second box, I should say.
Mhm.
Which all my honey supers are medium, so and I like to harvest the mediums instead of the deeps. It's easier because I do it old fashioned with the knife, and it's easier to cut mediums than it is to cut deeps.
Yeah.
And especially if you got deeps that had brood in them, they even harder to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I found that out. Especially brood frames, they're very hard to cut with a wax
Mhm.
knife, a hot knife, or even a hot flame. You know. Now Russell it says in Minnesota he wants frugal. Well, then you need more carniolan. But I mean, you talk about that, but then on the other hand, like I say, I see so many people with a different feeding process where I'm feeding a lot of sugar water in the fall to get them up to weight. And I mean, I'm pouring it to them. Where
Mhm.
you see Matt and different ones in the Midwest, they're doing a lot of fondant. I don't know whether they're not feeding a lot of sugar water and they're just doing fondant just to keep in their hives all the time or what. Me, I'd rather just close them up and be done with them. I go out there, like I say, every couple of weeks or so, hitting them with OA. But I have to say, with the results I got from April Guard, I don't have to do as much OA as they're pretty damn mite free as far as I'm concerned. From what I can see of the drops and all.
Charlie, you should have clean bees between the Apogard and doing Formic, and then
Oh, I
turn it
do
around.
because I watched the drops on after my April after OA. After that second treatment of OA, I haven't seen any drops.
Yeah, I can't imagine you got anything left after all that.
Mm-mm. No. So,
Brad,
yeah.
do they make drones all year long down there for you?
No,
No.
no.
When
But
you-
they make them late though. They make them. I had drones in there all the way to the end of November.
Hmm.
And if I let a hive get too, like when I keep them in those singles, like the nukes in the singles, they get too packed. They'll start making drones. I guess think they want to swarm, and I do have some that swarm late if I don't keep up with them.
Yeah, Philip, I'm kind of a guest.
Yeah, we weren't sure if he was going to make it back in time, so I set the show up and
Yeah, Dot, I'm a little tired.
was going to hold the fort down for him. And he called me and said, "Send me the StreamYard link." So I did.
Yep. So,
Called helping each other out.
Yep.
So
your
So-
bees.
they produce drones up into November.
Mhm.
What's the latest swarms you get down there?
Oh, I had some, shoot, September and October for sure.
Thank you, Dottie.
How late can you make a queen reliably?
Well, I just had one by accident that came back the 1st of December. She was mated and she's laying good.
Wow.
But it was because
Wow.
they superseded her.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, I found a virgin queen in there like in December 1st. And I just let it ride and see what was going to happen. And she came back mated. Now, how long she lasts, I won't know. I'll find out.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to know how long she lasts. Getting mated that late. See if how far she makes it. So
Yeah, that's crazy. I think our mating starts to go downhill here. Like,
into June.
yeah, the end of June. Certainly, that first, second week of July, it gets real unreliable, and they don't last. They get superseded. And
Yep.
I don't think they make
Yeah.
a good queen.
Yeah, the good queens that I can get are the latest is like September and a little bit into October, not much.
Yeah. That's still great though.
Yeah, it is. That is great. Wish we could get them that late.
Yeah, you've got a huge wide window for raising queens.
Mm-hmm.
So are you taking a big enclosed trailer down to Nobby, Bill, or?
No, I'm taking a straight truck.
Oh, okay.
24-foot straight truck.
Box truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me know if you need anything brought back this far.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, I got to decide if I'm going to look at any metalware down there, but I'm planning on looking a lot, getting a good idea right now. You know what I mean?
Yep. I know what you mean.
Because all the manufacturers will be there, and I
Mhm.
want to check out your honey tanks, and so I'm not dragging a bunch of woodenware back this year. I put enough of that together last winter. It burned me out pretty good.
Yep.
I'm going to buy my boxes assembled from now on, I think.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. Buy them assembled. They're hard to ship that way, but I figured out the trick. If I nest those boxes, say somebody buys 3 deeps, I can get 4 mediums inside of those 3 deeps. And then all I got to do is, it's LTL ship, but it's a lightweight ship, LTL, so it's not very expensive that way. So
I think I got a couple of hives shipped to me, but other than that, I mostly run around, to Lancaster or Newville or wherever and pick stuff up. Try to.
Yeah.
Carlisle.
Yep. That's where I'll be Monday, up that way.
Are you?
Yep.
Woodenware?
Yeah. Woodenware, empty frames, a little bit of everything.
Okay.
From the
Are you
skateboards.
taking a lot of woodenware and stuff down to try and sell at the show?
I'm not taking much to try to sell, but I am going to take a little bit of woodenware to sell because I had a lot of woodenware orders this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to take some to try to sell. So,
did you rent your truck yet?
Yeah, I've already got truck rented. Pick it up Monday.
Man, I looked at that last year and I was kind of shocked that it was so much money. It was, so much money per day, right? That wasn't so bad. But then they wanted the outfits that I was looking at were charging you per mile. And then you still had to put the fuel in it, you know what I mean, on top of it.
Well,
I was really surprised. Now, I might not have looked hard enough, you know what I mean?
Well, I was looking at leasing a truck anyway.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still flip-flopping around with DOT because I had one person at DOT tell me that I didn't need motor carrier authority because it was private. Would have been a private carrier, not for hire.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a letter saying, "Oh no, you've got to have the motor carrier authority." So I talked to him again. "Oh no, you don't need that." So I gave him the guy's name that sent me the letter, and they went and talked to him, and he still says I have to have the motor carrier authority. So I'm going to let the leasing company deal with him and get it worked out because I've got the insurance. I've already got a quote unquote DOT number. I just don't have motor carrier authority, which when you read the the DOT regulations, it says if you're a private carrier, and these are the categories that fall under private carrier, you don't need the authority.
Yeah, I would have thought you could just put your DOT number on it. And as long as you're under, what, 26,000 pounds,
Doesn't work that way.
doesn't it?
Nope. Technically, if you take your truck and put your skid steer on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's over a certain amount of
10,000.
weight,
10,000 pounds, I think.
yep, you have to have a DOT number.
And technically, if you're towing more than 10,000, you're supposed to have a CDL, right?
No, 26,000 calls for the CDL.
Well, now what's this?
6,000 combined.
What's this other number you're talking about? A motor carrier. What's
Motor
that?
Carrier Authority.
What is that?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
FMCSA is what it falls under, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Act. And they call it an FMCSA number. And it gives you authority to move anybody's material anywhere in the United States. You got to have electronic logs. If you're not over 26,000, you don't have to have a CDL.
Yeah, but
you
that's
still
your
have
gear
to have,
until you
still have
sell
to have a
it.
logbook, and you still have to have a medical card.
Yeah, but that's your gear till you sell it, right?
Yeah, it's mine. I bought it. But the way they look at it is it's for commerce.
Mm.
Well, I'm gonna head on out, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right,
Yeah,
Brad.
take care,
Thanks,
Brad.
Brad.
Enjoy your warm weather.
Yeah,
Mhm.
enjoy the 80-degree weather.
See you
Happy
later.
New Year.
You're coming to
Happy New
Nobby,
Year,
right,
Brad.
Yeah, I'll
see
be
you at
there.
Nobby.
Brad?
All righty. Okay, bye.
So
Yeah,
it's turned into a he said, she said thing with DOT because I'm getting two conflicting stories.
It's a beautiful example of government overreach.
You're right. So
The struggle
that's
is
why I'm
real.
getting a better rate through the leasing company renting the truck for 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So,
Boy,
he
you could
sent it
stack
to
a
me.
whole-
He sent it to me in writing, Tom.
Boy, you could stack a whole bunch of pallets of bee boxes in the back of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm hoping I sell out, or as close as I can to selling out. So
Are you bringing much stuff back?
I'm
I mean,
probably
you're not buying anything. You're just going down to sell and hoping you don't
I'm
bring anything
probably
back.
going to bring about 100 buckets back.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yep.
From
I like those tent plugs, and he drills
Yep.
them lids tight.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to get. Yeah. Tom, he cited so many regulations and laws in that letter that it boggled my mind looking at them. And that's when I called the help desk back, and I got a hold of the same person at the help desk for DOT. And I said, look, I got this letter. Here's what it says. Here's who wrote it. Hold on a minute. Let me get the supervisor. So the supervisor gets on the phone with me, and I read him the letter and all the regulations. He said, that's bullshit.
Bill, I got so frustrated trying to title that truck, that International 4700. I got so frustrated with that. I gave up. Now I'm going to get back into it now, but between what the truck's, registered for originally versus when they put the insulate or the reefer on the back of it versus taking the reefer off of it and putting a flatbed on it and what it was titled at 18. What was it? 18,000. The truck from the factory was rated for 25.5. Front axle at 8, rear axle at 17.5. Trying to get it back to those basics and then trying to find out what the legit combined weight of truck and trailer could be. I finally give up. I mean, it was ridiculous. So
well, I mean, with, let's say if you're pulling your trailer with your machine on the back of your pickup truck, you have to buy tags for your pickup truck for the combination weight of those two things together.
yeah, I have to buy a heavier
Yes,
weight
you have
class
to-
sticker
the
for my pickup.
Truck weight and the tow weight. Yep.
And all that. So you're going to have to do the same thing. Like we got these log trucks and lumber trucks. We had that 550. Well, the guy said he charged too much for the tag. Well, what it was that whatever the tag weight was, it wasn't enough for what we do. And we had to go back. And I said, this is too.
What did you have to go to an inspection mechanic and get him to approve setting that all at whatever?
I went to the guy down the road here has got a tag and title service. That's who we go to all the time. And they, instead of dealing with the MBA, you go to the tag and title service. This is what the truck's rated for. And we want to tag it for these so many thousand pounds. And that was the end of that.
Yep. I'm gonna sort it out. So one way or the other.
Yeah. Now, as far as, I'm CDL, but, every year I got to go get a damn physical. And
That's my struggle is where my sugar's at. I'm sure they'll chase me around when I.
no, not too much. It's, you know what they got me? They almost got me. And I know the doctor is that walking the straight line toe to toe, like when you're drunk.
Oh, really?
I kind of wobbled a little bit.
Yep.
And he says, yeah, when you get older like that, you get unbalanced. He says, I said, I'm sitting in a freaking seat. What does that got to do with driving a truck? He said, I know, but that's part of the thing. If you can't walk that straight line, you can't have a DOT license. I said, well, next time I do all that, guess what? I'll just go back to Class B non-commercial.
There you go.
And I said, then
Hang a farm tag on everything, right?
Yep.
they've all got farm tags on there now.
Well, see, with a farm tag in Virginia, you don't have to have a CDL.
Yeah, well, see here, you can get a farm tag, which is lesser insurance, but I still at certain, like you say, over 26,000, I got to have a CDL.
See, I'm not
I can do.
exactly
My brother
sure.
has it. My brother has a non-commercial Class A license. And mine would be, instead of a CDL Class B, I'd have a Class B non-commercial. Can't drive out of the state, and I can't drive for somebody else.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll
see,
be back, guys. I got to jump for a second.
All right. See, we've got a tractor trailer here on the farm. If I could go hook a flatbed to it, I could hook a lowboy to it. It's got a grain trailer on it now. And if I needed to move a tractor, I could go put that lowboy on it. As long as it's got a farm tag on it, I can anywhere within, I think it's 75 miles of the farm, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And all it says on it, farm use. That's it. There's nothing they can say about it.
Yeah,
As long as
Tom.
you're moving farm equipment or a product from the farm, you're good.
Yeah, Todd, I got a 550, and it's got a farm tag on it. All our stuff does.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure whether it's classified as a farm truck or not.
Yeah, but see, now there's another level of farm tag here in Virginia that gives you,
Talking about a K tag,
um,
farm area tag.
No, it's an actual registered plate with the state of Virginia. It's a farm tag. It says farm tag on it. And if you are, I think it's 150 or 160 air miles from the farm.
Yeah. I don't know. We got these tags here for they're on our wood trucks and stuff. Nobody seems to bother us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they'd bother me, but you know, you leasing a truck through a leasing company, you know, they want you to do it right. So they wouldn't let me lease it without a DOT number. So
We don't have them on our trucks.
yeah, I got the letter right here in front of me. He said they're going to schedule a safety audit. I
No
need to
thanks.
have participation in a drug and alcohol testing program that includes random pre-employment and other required testing and registration at FMCSA's drug and alcohol clearinghouse if employee with driver of a commercial with a CDL. So there's no CDL involved. Documentation of periodic annual motor vehicle inspections. It's a leased truck. Proper use of electronic logging device and or records of duty status as applicable to document hours of service. Evidence of the required minimum level of financial responsibility insurance if applicable. Use of drivers with proper CDLs if applicable. And he's saying because it's registered, it would be registered to Shenandoah Bee Supply, it's considered commerce.
So you're not renting in your name.
No, the company's renting it. I'm not an employee of the company. I'm the owner of the company. And
Yeah.
there's been so many of the electronic logs that they have taken approval away from. You don't know whether they're good or not. And you not supposed to run paper logs anymore. So
Right.
to me, it's a money-making thing.
That's all. So anyway, that's everybody. That's our DOT class for tonight.
Yeah.
Along with pollination services and all that.
Yep. Clay, we're not going to talk about that on here tonight.
What's that?
Clay's comment.
Getting worse.
Yeah. You want to ride shotgun, Tom? You can ride shotgun.
Going the wrong direction, though.
I'll put a side saddle seat on it. How about that? Not a lot of people know what side saddle is.
Well, talking about that Highland honey, Pete, I had a guy here. He's passed away now. He had farm tags on his pickup truck.
Yeah.
And they went from Maryland to Oklahoma with horses.
Oh,
And he says there is no limit on the distance. Brad from Cajun Homestead. That's in Louisiana. He's not too many, and maybe an hour outside of where they have Mardi Gras. Well, thank you, Dot. Yeah, we're all sideliners for the most part. Been at it for a long time. That's why my chat and bills were more intermediate to advanced. At least we try to keep it that way. We're always willing to help new ones out. But there's plenty of folks out there that are more geared for the new beekeepers. But we like talking about queens and, minute details that make a big difference in keeping your bees alive and things like that. And we try to do it, with multiple hives, make it faster, make it easy. So hang out with us. Dot, are you going out to Nobby or are you not coming out to that? Yeah, DC's right there. The bee chats have become our bee club. This is our bee club because the fact of the matter is, I know Bill's past president of the state of Virginia Bee Club, or the state of Virginia Beekeepers Association, I guess is what you call it.
Yep.
And that's a bunch of BS there, via honeybees. You know that. Not when you got 250 plus hives.
Yeah, exactly. You're a beginner with 250 hives. Yeah, right.
And you got an extraction line as almost as good as any Cowan extraction line out there. Don't tell me that.
Only problem is he needs some Shamrock equipment in that line.
Yeah. So Dot, you're new. Okay, well, just keep hanging with us, and you'll pick up all the nuggets, as we call it.
Yeah.
Are you going out? You need to go out to Nobby there, and fly out to there, and you'll be quite well overwhelmed, and then come to our parties and get to know everybody. That's the fun part for me.
Hey, Tom, that just goes to show you need to read a little bit more research.
You guys talked about that humulin. Is it the things that grab on the bee?
Hamuli.
Huh?
It's called Hamuli.
Hamuli?
Hamuli.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it quite right.
That's the hook. The hook. It's a whole
They're
string
actually
of hooks. Hooks the wings together.
Yeah, they're actually multiple hooks.
Yeah, there's multiple hooks.
They got a Eastern Shore. They got a chicken house on for sale. What's going to have a bunch of fried chicken?
Oh yeah,
Pocomoke City. It's all true. But anyway, something popped up on my feed, and it was a drawing of that of the wings, and he was saying, he didn't know that there was actually two sets of wings on a bee.
Yeah.
And they hooked together, and it was sort of like a multiple hook type situation, or sort of kind of like a row of Velcro loops hanging there ready to click and all that stuff, which is pretty neat. The and all that stuff. But interesting. And Yeah, DC, that's correct. Or I don't know whether you were talking to Dot about that or not.
All right, Tom, here's a question for you. This is specifically for Tom. Okay. And I'll give Tom a little bit to answer it, but if he doesn't answer, then I'll give everybody else a chance. You ready, Tom? He's not going to answer me. Okay, let's hear it. All right. How many known species of bees are there?
Now that's just honeybees, or is that a bunch of bees? Solitary bees.
Species of bees. This is actually a beginner question.
Don't sound like it to me.
Yep.
Beginner in what?
Beginner beekeeper question. I cover it in my classes. Yeah. Oh boy. Put that thinking cap on, Tom. Don't cheat and look it up. Wrong. Eddie has it right. It's 20,000. Mark says that's easy. I told you that's a beginner's question. See, you never know what I'm going to ask you.
I never knew that one.
Yeah. Let's do another one. You really want another one, Tom? All right. Let me get you a good one here. All right. All right. Here. Let's see. Those are all beginner questions. God, get him a good one.
An easy one.
I gotta get him a good one.
Well, they just got a thing here. I-68 west of Grantsville shut down. That was 9 hours ago due to ice, I guess, and accidents.
Hang on. Hang in there, Tom. Let's see. Okay. Tom, here you go. What are the 3 symptoms or signs of American foul brood? Hey, Grammy. I don't know if he heard me. Three. DC. 3. I know for sure you can find 2 of them if you look it up. Hello, Tom. Rob's got it right. Grammy's got it right. Clay got 2 of them. I don't think Tom heard me. That's the stringiness that Robert's talking about is actually called a rope. Well, if you answered, the last thing I saw from you was you saying, talking to Grammy. Burning bee equipment is a treatment, Brent. That's the only acceptable treatment for American foul brood. But some states will allow you to use antibiotics. So, all right. Now that we've stumped Tom for the night, yeah. So you can tell it's wintertime. We've run out of things to talk about, Charlie.
Now, yeah. Anybody else want to come in?
Yeah, somebody else come here. Tom, Melissa, is there an update? Did you get rid of the last 2 tickets?
Yeah, I think Brian and his wife are coming from Colorado, Denver.
Tom never runs out.
So,
Well, I'll be glad when it warms up. I know that for sure.
JW.
Oh, is JW coming? JW, you're probably right.
Who is Shona? Shona. Brett.
I don't know.
Is JW Shona?
I don't know.
I thought Highland Honey was Pete.
There he is.
Back again.
Hey, Bill, did my answers never come through?
Finally.
I submitted it once, and then you said, Tom, where are you at? And I'm like, I already submitted the answer.
I didn't even see that either.
I just retyped it. It shows it went through on my side. Did nobody else see it?
Nope. Last thing like I said, the last thing before you answered that we saw was you saying something to Grammy, and that was it.
The answer was in like right after that.
Nope.
So did I get him right?
Yeah, you did.
Was that what you were looking for?
Yep.
That one wasn't a hard one. And just for JW's information, I wouldn't have needed to Google that one. I've actually put answers in there before and gotten them wrong. So
JW said you were stalling so you could look it up.
yeah, he's a liar. Where's he at anyway? Tell him to come on here so I can harass him.
Oh, he's on here.
No, he needs to come in the thing, in the video so I can harass him.
You keep challenging him, and I guarantee he'll come in here. Won't
He
you,
won't. He's probably a little scared of me. Every time he gets around me, he's intimidated. He probably won't show up. I have to use my phone. Melissa's using the laptop upstairs, working on some invoicing and such. So I just grabbed my phone, so I can't see any comments on here. So if people are commenting to me, I can't see them.
Oh, we'll definitely let you know.
I'm not sure if there's a way on my. I don't usually log on through my phone. I don't know if there's a way that I can. Oh, hold on. Comments.
Uh-oh. Todd's starting in on him now.
Okay, hold on. So I can see the comments, but interestingly enough, when I'm on my phone, I can't see the video and the comments at the same time. It's one or the other. Yeah, Todd, you're not wrong. He gets cranky sometimes. That's all right. I still love the guy.
We all get cranky every now and then.
Yeah, that's all right. We all have bad days, don't we? Hey,
Sure.
PC, I'm looking at the comments now. I'm not looking at the video, so
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. So did you hear me a while ago say I got the letter here in front of me? They want to do a safety audit on somebody that hasn't even really started doing anything yet.
Yeah,
Hey, Tom,
they're ridiculous.
Bob. So let them do a safety audit. I don't care. I'm not an employee. I'm the owner. I'm the one leasing the truck. So
You know, I'm not a guy who's like anti-government at all. So I'll start with that. But I'm telling you, for the life of me, for the limited time I've been on this earth, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist here. Sometimes they do a lot more harm than they do good. And some of this stuff is just downright nonsense. So I'm going to give you, for example, here. The one thing that just gripes me to no end, and I'm not harping on any ethnic group here, but typically, and this is the people who I see doing it, the Hispanic folks will be going down Interstate 44 through St. Louis, and Interstate 44 heads from St. Louis down through the southern kind of part of the state, kind of at a diagonal, going south and west at the same time. Well, I'm certain these guys are going to Mexico. I've talked to other guys before that kind of are aware of what they do, and they'll take a convoy of cars, and you're talking like 2 to 3 cars. It'll be pulled by like a 4-cylinder SUV or a little front-wheel drive SUV, and they've got these little attachments, these little bumper hooking things going from one car to the next, and you know they don't have brake actuators going from one vehicle to the next to the next. So you have a car that might weigh 4,000 pounds pulling anywhere from an additional 8,000 pounds of car going down the interstate. Nope, I've never not once have I ever seen DOT, a police officer, anybody pull them over, okay?
mm-hmm.
So why? But I have friends that have had work trucks that were between the combined weight from the truck and the trailer, both, not the actual weight, but what they're rated to haul is above that 26,000 pounds. They pull them over and give them trouble. So my question is this: if we're doing things for safety, why do we let that happen? So you have a hard time convincing me that we're doing it for public safety. It's more like it's doing it for a revenue generator.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, I'm not an anti, establishment guy. I don't like stupid. That's all. So
Right.
If somebody can explain that to me in a way that even my simple mind can understand, I am all ears.
Yeah.
Well, I know somebody told me that he got pulled over by DOT, and he said, "You weren't supposed to pull him over. It was only such and such trucks that we're after today." Some
That's what I'm saying.
certain business trucks, a business name. We're only after certain business trucks.
That's ridiculous. So you when you say that, you're not doing it in the name of public safety. You're doing it in the name of revenue generation, or you've got a stick in your rear end toward a particular company or entity, right? I mean, that's not setting a very good example if you're Big Brother.
Yep.
I missed a whole piece on talking trucks and trailers, didn't I?
Yep.
So
Anyway, what's the weather like out there, Tom?
here it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, today was like 73 degrees. Before the stream started, I was actually out in the garage working. My son and I were changing the oil in my wife's car, and then I was putting sounds kind of silly when it was 70 something degrees here today, but I was on that Bobcat mini track loader that we just got here a few weeks ago. I was putting a block heater in it. And so on a Bobcat MT100, which is considered, they call it a mini track loader. It's about a 3,500 pound machine. They have a little 3-cylinder Kubota diesel engine in them. And let me tell you, these little mini track loaders, wow, that there is not a lot of room to work on anything inside these. So in order for me to get a block heater, which was a press fit, so I had to knock out one of the, on the back side of the engine, I had to knock out one of the freeze plugs. So I had to drain the coolant down, knock out a freeze plug. And just getting to this area was an absolute pain. And then we have to press fit or drive into there a press fit style of little heater, I guess, that basically heats the coolant around in the engine.
Yeah.
And so I had to put a little bit of like not a thread locker, but more of like a a seal type stuff on there, and I had to drive in there, but I had to have my son on the back side of it, driving it with a long extension, and I was guiding it from the front side by the engine. So anyway, it was super warm outside, 70 something degrees. We're working outside in a t-shirt, and it was absolutely gorgeous. So it seemed kind of silly that I was actually installing a block heater when it was 70 something degrees. But our weather the last few days has been just, I mean, in the 65 to like 72, 73 today. And then tomorrow and Sunday is supposed to be in the mid 60s to almost 70 again. So for us to have almost 5-ish or so days of weather like this is kind of unheard of. I mean, even in December. But you know what? That's Missouri.
I wish that was Nobby.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I was trying to
really.
look at some weather, moving toward Nobby a little bit. And you can get into the 2-week forecast now. And the first couple days, it looks like it's going to be all good. There's somebody hinting that's around the St. Louis area weather forecaster that says, well, there could be a couple of systems moving in the second week of January. And I'm like, it better not. So, because if we get snow here, depending on how much we got, it could be very likely that I would end up having to stay back, at least for a portion of it until I got it cleaned up. I mean, my son works for me and I could have probably somebody else help out. But if it was a small storm, I don't have a problem leaving. But if it was anything, top side of 4 or 5 inches, I would probably need to stay here to make sure everything goes smoothly. But so pray for good weather. Doesn't have to be warm. It just has to be dry. For all of our sake, really. Build it when we go driving a box truck across the country in snow and ice and other jazz, and to make it easier on all of us.
Yeah.
I guess we're not that far from being able to see a 10-day forecast that's going to start to show that, aren't we?
Yeah, I was looking at the 14-day actually.
Okay.
2 of the days, I think it showed mid 40s in Louisville.
Let's see here. Monthly.
Well, I think that snowstorm kind of last year kind of screwed you up a little, didn't it, Charlie? Didn't you head back?
Yeah,
to
there
the
was
road?
ice. There was
Oh,
ice,
great.
and we left out Saturday morning.
So the forecast for the 5th in Louisville is 39 degrees with snow and rain. The
You're
6th
just full of
in
good news.
Louisville is 36 degree high with snow.
Hold on, what day is that, Bill? I bumped something and knocked myself out.
The 6th, Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
The 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, they're all clear to partly cloudy, highs in the upper 30s to high 40s.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
So they're calling for snow in Louisville on Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah.
What do the temperatures show on those 2 days? Does it say?
The Monday, the high is 39, and Tuesday, the high is 36.
Borderline temperatures.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, when are you leaving your place to head down that way on Tuesday?
The 5th.
Oh, yeah. You need clear weather. You probably need clear weather from the 5th through the 11th, don't you?
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie, did you say that you were staying Saturday evening? Is that right?
Yeah.
And Bill, I'm guessing you're probably doing the same, correct?
Yeah, I'm leaving Sunday morning.
Okay. Yep.
So on the 5th and 6th in Charleston, West Virginia, Charlie,
Yeah.
it's snow and rain, high of 40 on Monday. And on Tuesday, it's snow and rain, high of 37 on Tuesday. And the rest of the week up through the 11th looks good. Matter of fact, the 11th is a high of 51.
Yeah, we need clear weather that whole week.
Yeah.
Basically, let's just say from Monday through Sunday.
Yeah. We do.
That would be great.
It doesn't have to be warm. We can deal with the cold. Just can't be messy.
Yeah. Hey, Chad, I saw your post on Facebook. How many boxes did you get put together today?
Hey, Ben, what are you talking about? You said it'll be 40s here during that time. During what time? Are you seeing a forecast that's, I'm guessing, that entire week?
Sounds like he's in Louisville. Am I right, Tom?
No, Ben is actually here, not far from me.
Okay.
Okay, in Missouri that week. Okay, very good. I can handle 40s.
Yeah.
So, hey, Charlie, did I understand it earlier in the chat that you said that it sounded like there's ice or freezing rain in your area right now?
Yeah, there is.
And is it like significant icing or just very, very light glaze? What do you guys got?
I'll say I had to sort of slide across my driveway.
Holy cow, that's not good.
I came home from my function tonight, and I was in my four-wheel, but it seemed like the roads were, I guess because they salted the roads, but it was raining, and I just took it easy, and I wasn't any slipping and sliding or anything except for my driveway.
Were you driving your truck or the van?
Oh no, my truck.
Okay. Yeah, typically this time of year, it's very easy for us to get some sort of ice or glaze or whatever, because we're in that, that transitional area where a little bit further north where you guys are at, you probably typically just get a lot of snow, or snow showers and stuff, and probably very little ice, right?
Yeah, mostly snow and, like you say.
We get a lot of mixes, it seems like. We don't ever have just like, I mean, we do, but it doesn't seem often where we just get straight snow. Sometimes it'll start off as one thing and then transition to this and end up as this, where we can have potentially like a little bit of snow and or freezing rain and potentially sleet or snow and sleet. Only because we're kind of in that area of the Midwest, if you will, that kind of gets the warm and the cold together. It's always that transitional type area, seems like.
I'm trying to click my weather map to another state or whatever you call it, and I can't get it to do that for some reason.
Now, Charlie, you're what, a couple hours from Bill?
3.
3 hours. Okay. Yeah, what's kind of odd is we're going to go from, those 60s and 70s through Sunday, and then it drops off. And next week, it's going to be hanging in the area of a couple days will hit 32 up to just below 40-ish, somewhere in that range. So it's going to be a bipolar swing. I actually, the last couple days, have been putting out just a little bit of pollen sub, and we had some buckets in here that when I dump the buckets of honey into the tanks, I just usually, if it's warm, I set the buckets out, let the bees clean them out overnight, bring them back in, wash them all up, and then stack them away. till we need them again. And I've had, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 buckets in here that we had emptied out that I hadn't set out because it was extremely cold and it was, pointless to do so. And then it warmed up. So I let them clean those out. Had a little bit of crystallized honey left in the bottom of the bucket that I didn't try to uncrystallize. I just threw that out, let them eat that. And then I put out a couple different, the last couple days, I don't know, maybe as much as a pound each of that pollen substitute just to give them something to do. It seems like that on those days when there's nothing happening, especially like at the few hives that are at our house, sometimes they'll bother the neighbors' bird feeders looking for anything. So we try not to be a nuisance with that, and we'll keep them over here by putting out something to attract them to, and it seems to help out quite a bit.
Yeah.
All the hives that I looked at, I didn't go to every bee yard. I haven't bothered to get in most of them. I still need to do oxalic acid on them still, but all the ones that we had gotten or kind of peeked at, they all had flying in the entrances. So at this point, I didn't see that I've lost anything. So far, so good.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I haven't found any bad weather or whatever.
Hey, DC, did I see you making comments earlier that you're having trouble getting some sort of what's the real ID, which is the one you need for flight, that the TSA approves, getting that taken care of? You can probably make a couple of calls and find out exactly what they're going to be looking for to your license office before you even go in there, and they'll tell you that. They'll tell you every piece of documentation that they're looking for, and if you just take all that in there, it should be a pretty easy process for you, pretty much an in and out.
Yeah, DC, all I had to do was take my military ID in there, and they were good with it.
Yeah, I think typically, if I remember right, I want to say they look for I want to say 3 different forms of ID, and one of which had to be to confirm your mailing address. They wanted to see whatever mailing address or address you have on your driver's license. They want to see that, like for instance, like a major bill, electric bill, gas bill, something like that comes to your house. They want to see that with your name on it, just to confirm that you're not trying to put up a false address, I guess.
Yep.
So as long as you haven't moved within the last 30 days, that part shouldn't be a problem. And then, of course, your existing driver's license, and maybe, I can't remember now. I want to say birth certificate and maybe social card.
I got a social card, I think the electric bill, and my birth certificate. And I went to the local birth certificate place, wherever it was in Bel Air, and they printed, and it cost you $15, printed it out for you. And I took it over there, and the woman said, what, have you been here before about, because you had all the documents? I said, no. I said, all you had to do, when they came out, they sent you the paper, what you had to have, and I brought what the paper said, and it was done.
Yeah, all I had was my driver's license, my military ID, and that was all they asked for.
Hey, Todd, are you saying that you don't have to have the real ID? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You don't.
The TSA will pull you aside and ask you a couple questions, and you're on your way.
Oh, well, if it's that easy, then don't even worry about it, DC, unless you plan on flying anymore.
Yeah.
Just plan a few extra minutes to get questioned. I didn't realize that they would do that.
Oh, yeah. $100.
Real ID does not cost $100.
Yeah. I don't remember
anything.
Every state's different. Every state is different.
Yeah, I will say I didn't have to pay $100 for mine, but I don't live in the same state you do. So if it's state dependent, then
Yeah.
whatever happened for me doesn't not necessarily happen for you.
I think mine was like $45.
Hey, Dodd, you know what you could do is, you said just depends on what they ask. just have your wife speak for you. They'll be much more friendly to an intelligent female than to a big burly bearded guy. DC, I would say it's worth a phone call to your license office before you go up there. So it can be frustrating. I know when you go to the license office and you don't have everything that you need to get your licensing taken care of for your vehicle, whatever it might be, just call up there first and say, this is what I have. This is what I'm looking to do. What are you going to ask me for exactly?
Then they'll come up with something else.
Probably will.
So I looked up the F tag in Virginia, which is the quote unquote registered farm tag with the state. I got 150 miles.
Is that air miles?
No, it just says operated 150 miles or more from your farm, meets the definition of a commercial vehicle if it's 26,001 pounds or more. Combination weight of 26,001 pounds or more, carries 16 or more passengers, requires hazardous material, used in operation of a contract or common carrier, or used in another state.
So that's the definition of which they call commercial vehicle.
No.
That's a farm tag.
That's
for the farm tag.
The F tag.
Okay, I got you.
To go out of state with it.
Well, that was the angle that I had started to look into moving forward. That's not going to happen this year, but I was thinking potentially within the next couple of years. I have a friend who has a couple of semis and stuff like that, and he has a farm. And I was asking him, I'm like, how do you deal with all this stuff and this, that, and the other? He's like, and him and I were kind of talking through some of the small details. And I'm guessing some of that probably depends state to state, it sounds like.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any intention to drive a commercial vehicle like that up to Bill's place, but I don't know. Maybe it's something like that. I'd have to, if I slipped up to a different area, I'd be asking for forgiveness, not permission. But I'm sure that would be like once in a blue moon that I'd be driving those kind of distances. Normally, I'd just be driving semi-local here.
Yeah.
I just got back earlier than I thought, Clay or Carl. What's happened, Rob?
Not much. So there's a catch with that, Bill. If you own multiple farms or you're going from multiple bee yards,
Yep.
so wherever your bee yard is,
Yep.
that gives you another 150 miles.
Yep.
So you can hop, skip, and jump from bee yard to bee yard to bee yard and probably cross the whole state if you had bee yards.
Yeah, but the problem is when I go out of state.
Yeah.
If I'm less than 150 miles, I'm good. I can go to Pennsylvania because that's only 130 miles.
But I think once you cross out of the state, then you're exempt in general. Because I was thinking I'm the same thing. Once I cross out of Pennsylvania, I'm in Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, wherever I'm at, I'm not I'm not required. But now, are you running a regular plate, a hard plate that says farm tag, farm truck? Or are you running a sticker?
In Virginia, it would be an F tag.
An F tag.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, I run a hard plate on 2 of my vehicles. And here, I'm required a safety inspection. And I have to keep insurance on the vehicle.
Yeah.
But my registration, I have it on my F550. My registration on my F550 was somewhere around $750 a year.
Yep.
And when I put the farm plate on it, the registration dropped down to, I think it was like $60 or $70 a year. So that's why I did it.
If I register, if I could get an F tag for this leased vehicle, the registration of the leased vehicle would be $15 a year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Now they also have what they call a decal. I can get a decal, and then I just put like a cardboard plate on the back, and I
Yep.
stick this decal on the front fender or on my door,
Yep.
and that makes me totally exempt from registration
Yep.
and exempt from safety inspections. The only technicality is, I think, it's like you said, I'm stuck within that 150 miles, and I cannot drive it at night.
Yep.
Really? At night?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're not required to even have headlights or turn signals or anything.
I see.
The only thing you're required is one brake light.
Huh. Okay. What if your vehicle possesses all that? Still no go at night?
Yeah, still no go. It's just the technicality of it all. Because
I
there's
see.
a lot of guys who have vehicles here that are, I mean, Pennsylvania, they're pretty anal about everything. Like if you have a rust hole, you don't pass a safety inspection. If you have an exhaust leak, you don't pass a safety inspection.
I see.
So you could technically have a truck that's totally rusted out, no exhaust pipe whatsoever, all that stuff, headlights not working, all that, next to no tread left on your tires, and put a farm plate on it and say, hey, we just use it on the farm for running around and hauling junk and pulling wagons, and you're good to go. And,
Okay.
And they can't do a thing to you.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I guess I understand that then, because you don't have to pay any more for that old beater that runs around the farm that the farm hands tear up, and just to get from one point to the other and what have you. So that makes sense.
yeah,
Yep.
it's just a fast farm tractor, basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly.
So I should put a farm tag on my medium duty truck.
If you do, I would do like I do, put the farm plate on and not the sticker. And that's going to keep your insurance way cheaper, or not your insurance, but your registration. Yeah. You're still required for, safety inspections and all that stuff. But you'll pay more, I think, out the gate, because you have to buy the plate. So there'll be an upcharge for the actual plate, but after that, then it's cheap. It's fairly compared to what you're paying. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I called Pennsylvania last spring or last year when I went up to get the syrup, and talked to the lady there in the Department of Motor Vehicles, and she told me that if you're from out of state and your state doesn't require you to have a CDL until you're at 26,001 pounds, and she said, you get stopped by a Pennsylvania state trooper, there's nothing they can do about it.
Correct.
Well, I think when it comes to DOT, that's a federal law. It's not a state law. Just
Yeah,
like
but the states enforce it.
Yeah,
The
but what,
state
like
DOT
I have a
enforces
DOT
it.
license? That's a federal license. That's not a state license, even though it's
Exactly.
the state of Maryland.
Yes. But the state enforces the regulations because they are state and federal officers. All your DOT inspectors and all your DOT troopers are state and federal officers. That's how they can enforce the DOT regs.
So
Yeah.
you're saying a municipal cop cannot.
No, a state trooper.
I know, but I'm just taking it a step further. So like a county or a small municipality cop cannot enforce that? Is that what you're suggesting?
Unless they are certified through the FMCSA, the DOT, and they've taken all those classes and gotten certified and sworn in as a federal officer.
Mm.
Now they can enforce the state side of it, but not the federal side of it.
Yeah, right here where I'm at, they actually have, it's a 2-man team. They drive a pickup truck, and they are the only ones who pull people over for basically, DOT violations, safety, taillights out, whatever. If you're pulling a trailer, and I don't care what's on that trailer, it could be, a hay rake, it could be skid steer. And they see you, you're getting pulled over, no matter what. And they're gonna call it a random stop. And I have a friend who is a cop, and he told me, he said, Rob, just be very, very careful, because I talked to him before I bought my last gooseneck, and he said the deal is this. He said it's what you weigh on paper. It's not what you actually weigh in the scale.
Mhm.
He said, so you got to make sure that you register your vehicle, so your combined total registration on your trailer and the combined and your vehicle do not exceed 26,000.
Yep.
He said, so make sure you drop it down. He said, and then, and you're good. Now I have a Class B, so I'm good up to 26,000 already. And then he said, because you got to look at it as, even if you pulled on a scale and you only weigh 10,000 pounds, they consider you illegal, because of the paper. He said, now the second thing is, if they see you going down there and you have this, small 10-foot trailer and you got this, 10,000 pound skid steer on it.
Yeah.
He said they know that all these local yokels are running around and they're overloading their trailers with these skid steers, and they're not properly chaining them down. You're supposed to have a chain on each corner.
Mhm.
And if you have a backhoe, you got to have one for the bucket.
Yeah.
He said, and these guys are just, they're running around. They're landscapers. They're, people who are doing little plumbing jobs.
So you're talking about like we were talking earlier, Tom, about like them, what do you call it? Going after a certain person all the time. Right around here, that day or that week, they're all after, as I'll call them, the grass cutters. Everybody, all the lawnmower guys with all the lawnmowers. Oh, you're supposed to have all your weed eaters on them little racks and stuff. You just can't lay it in the back. And then you had to have everything tied down and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
And that's all they were worried about. They're catching every grass guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those guys do some really nefarious stuff. Meaning, some of the grass guys, we put everything inside of an enclosed trailer. Now, I don't have anything unless we're doing something different as far as like anybody that's out mowing lawns for that day. All those tools sit inside of an enclosed trailer. Now, there's a rack system and everything in there that holds the blowers, trimmers, and 3 mowers tied. Or technically the mowers are just sitting in there. They're not tied up, but front to back, they're sandwiched in there pretty tight. So I don't know technically if they were to give me trouble about nothing being strapped down inside of an enclosed. It may not matter at that point. I don't know.
Well, they don't have a warrant for the search warrant.
Yeah, they can't see inside the trailer. There's no windows in there whatsoever. So anyway, I get it. There's a lot of guys do some pretty stupid stuff, and it's like, man, I should tell guys all the time, and I'm like, man, you guys need to stop doing this stuff. I'm like, because what's going to happen is when these guys realize that there's a money train here with all these guys doing this, I'm like, they're not going to leave you alone. They're going to hit us at every turn that we've got, and the cost of doing business is going to skyrocket here.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, because you're going to lose time and everything else.
Oh, for sure. Well, and you guarantee none of those guys strap half that stuff down.
Yeah,
I got a really good friend.
They're going to look at it and say, how much weight do you have on here?
Yeah. Now, as far as mine go, mine are all legit as far as what I have the license weight at, what the trailers can hold, what I have in them. They're actually well under as far as that goes. But I'm just running single wheel trucks. I'm not running dual wheel trucks on this stuff. But I got a couple buddies that are hauling semi-local that they'll throw a skid steer on a trailer and take off down the road. You're talking a 10,000 pound anchor, that comes flying off of a trailer, now they're not running highway speeds, but again, you could argue both ways. It doesn't really matter. I get that, but it is what it is. I don't do that. Even if I'm just going a few miles down the road, Now I may not put like Rob said, I may not put one binder on every corner of that machine and one on the hoe, but I'd probably do a strap over the hoe and 2 binders, you know. Is it legal? No. Is it going to hold it on there? Probably, you know.
Yeah, their big catch here is guys that run one chain across something, and their argument is, so if you have one chain across the front, one across the back, and one of those chains lets go, now you only have two points of contact strapped down. And will those points of contact, you know, will they hold? And you know, they probably won't. While these chains are running 6,000-7,000 pound, and you know, got a 10,000 pound hoe on it, and it's not going to hold if it hits something. So, but I've seen crazy stuff. We went to Georgia 3 years ago, and I watched a guy get down the road and he blew out a tire, and so he took the tire and the rim off, and he ran a chain around his one axle and chained it up with a binder so it wouldn't drag the ground. And he was going down the road with one single tire on the driver's side and 2 tires on the passenger side. And I was like, wait till the cop sees him.
And he probably made it all the way home.
They probably did. Yeah,
Probably did.
Yeah. I mean,
And then Rob does one thing wrong, the smallest little detail, and the cop nails him.
Yeah, I had a cop pull me over here about a month or 2 ago. I pulled out from a stop sign, come to a complete stop because I know there's always a cop sitting around. Come out from a complete stop sign, turn to the right, and I didn't go 30 feet down the road, and a guy come flying out. I don't even know where he was at. Coming flying out of somewhere, pulled me over, and I'm like, as soon as he said the driver's license and registration, I said, "Look, I know for a fact I was at a complete stop. It was not a rolling stop. It was a complete stop." He goes, "But you didn't turn your turn signal on."
Oh my gosh! Come on.
Yeah. It was a T intersection, so you had to go left or right. And buddy left me go with a warning. And but yeah, that's just, you know, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah. You do everything right in that one small detail. He got you.
He was bored for the day. That's what it amounted to.
I think so.
He didn't have any other tickets for the day, so he had to do something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying right or wrong in that situation or circumstance, but I have a hard time understanding too some of these laws on certain areas. And again, I'm not saying that one specifically, seems so arbitrary that it almost, how do I say this? It almost seems like it'll make a good guy a criminal. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's some of this stuff is just so arbitrary. It's just.
Yeah, my argument was, who was I signaling to? It's at nighttime, right? You can see my headlights. You can see what direction I'm moving from a complete stop. So, like I said, I don't even know where he was, back in the bushes somewhere. But
and you were probably sitting in either a left turn lane or a right turn lane.
No, it was a single. I mean, it was like a country road. You know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was, yeah.
Hey, did you actually say it to him? Who was I signaling to, or did you just let that one slide?
No, I let it slide. You know, I was not trying to get him all riled up. You know,
I got you. Yeah, probably a good thing.
20 years ago. Maybe.
Well, you know, you kind of it goes to the point where if you're driving down the road and you want to make you're changing lanes, let's say, and you can't see nobody behind you, but you should be putting your signal on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. But when you're at a complete stop, I mean, like at a stop sign, complete stop, doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like they know you're going left or you're going right. It's not like you're going to surprise anybody, you know? And
that's one thing I'm really not good at. And if Melissa was on here, she'd be throwing me under the bus in a heartbeat. I'll tell you, there's a couple things. Well, I'm usually pretty good at signaling. I really am. I mean, there's times, but like you said, Rob, end of a dirt road kind of deal, nobody's out there. Am I going to signal? 50-50, okay, if I'm being honest. But, you know, when it comes to the speed limit, and I'm not saying when I'm pulling equipment. When I'm pulling equipment, I'm pretty much speed limit, and sometimes even under, depending on what I'm pulling, if I'm being honest. Now, in my truck by myself or something like that, for me at those times, the speed limit's really a suggestion. I probably shouldn't be saying that. And then the same thing goes to like stoplights or stop signs. Again, busy intersections, absolutely. But they had this thing called the Missouri stop, which is really kind of a rolling stop. I'm really bad about that. If I'm being perfectly frank, I'm not trying to be unsafe, but I just, you just have or somewhere you have to be. You're trying to get there. I get it. Everybody's got their own thing, but
So you're saying they should replace that with a yield sign?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's coming, just got to roll through it.
Listen,
Yeah.
let's take all the stop signs, turn them into yield signs, take away the speed limit signs, and remove the warning labels for the idiots. Okay, things will get worse for a minute, but then they'll get exponentially better in the long run.
Yeah. So about 5 years ago, I was in Northern Virginia, and I was in my pickup, and I was running the speed limit, and I got pulled over in Fairfax County. Officer walks up to the door, and I had license, registration, everything already, insurance and all that out in my hand. And he looks at me, he says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I looked at him and I said, "If I knew why you pulled me over, I wouldn't have done it." And handed him my license.
Oh boy, Bill's getting a ticket by that mouth.
No, I did not get a ticket. He just
Oh,
kind of
my
looked at me and shook his head. He walked back to his car, and I'm watching him in the mirror. He gets to his car door and he looks up and he just walks back and hands me my stuff and says, "Go on out of here."
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
I don't know. Todd says JD gets pulled over repeatedly for speeding and reckless driving. They may just let him go on the account as like, well, he's probably senile. Just let him ride. He's only got a few good years left in him. Let him do his thing, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this guy pulled me over. He was from Gettysburg, and they're known to be pretty anal about everything. My son-in-law was down there. He got out of the military, and he came home, and they went down there to go to some museums and check out the little shops on the downtown area. When they came back to the vehicle, he got a ticket for parking too far away from the curb.
Oh my God.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. That's something you shake your head about. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
But,
Too far away from the curb.
Yep. So I wasn't going to argue with that cop.
So here, what's funny is I don't know where everybody here, as far as we're at in relation to like a large city or whatever. So again, I'm 40 miles southwest outside of St. Louis City. You go down to St. Louis City, you can speed, run a red light, doesn't matter. Cops won't even flinch at you, right? And I think it has more to do with the fact that there's bigger fish to fry in the city of St. Louis than somebody running a red light, running the stop sign, speeding. That's small potatoes. It's like down in certain areas of the city of St. Louis, it's like, who's getting gunned down? Is this drug trafficking? And that's more kind of top shelf or more high priority type stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
Well, guys,
It's 10 after 10. So,
well, before we get off, I'll tell you, I spoke with Tom Seeley here a couple weeks back. I told you about that.
Mm-hmm.
He just out of the blue on, I think it was Christmas Day, texted me and said that he's actually going to be in Ithaca, New York most of the summer instead of being up at Maine. So he said, make sure to keep him in the loop so we can get together when I'm up there. So, he's pretty pumped about it. And then texted him back and thanked him. And I asked him if he ever wrote the biography of, I think it was Linda, where's I got it right here, this book, Martin. Anyhow, this guy, this is the guy that was a big influencer of Tom Seeley. This guy was a German, I think was fighting in World War II. and on a weekend, he was a student of Carl Van Frisk, but he got a weekend pass. Went over to one of the schools or something and listened to, I think it was Von Thrisk, give some kind of a talk on honeybees, and he was intrigued because he said most all he knew was death and dying and killing and stealing from being in the German military. And he said, well, if I ever get out, I'm going to pursue the study of honeybees because they brought hope and peace and working together as a unity. And he actually got wounded, and so he got discharged, and he actually did go to Munich to the university and studied honeybees. And so he's got 2 different books out, and this one here is called The Communication Among Social Bees. And so Tom Seeley, his one professor at Harvard, knew this guy, this German. So Tom Seeley somehow got it worked out that he could go to Germany, meet up with this guy, and he took 1 semester of German speech so he could talk with him a little. And they hit it off, and then he asked him if he could go back and write a biography. So they met 6 different times, and Tom Seeley wrote his biography, and he sent me a PDF of the biography that wrote of this guy, Martin Lindor, and pretty interesting. So I was just, all from one conversation with Tom, just say, hey, I'd like to meet with you when I go up for my EAS. This thing just continues to progress and progress and progress. So I encouraged him to write another book. When he went to the author to submit some work about doing this piping hot bees, he told his editor that he had 40 truths he wanted to present. And his editor said, oh, no, there's no way we could do a book with 40 truths. He said, cut it down to 20. So he did. So I encouraged him to write another book called 20 More Truths and come out with a sequel. And he said, you know what, I might do that. But he's working on another book right now about living up in Maine and in like the backcountry. He lived there his whole life. And so he's gonna do a book like that. And he said if he gets done with that, maybe he'll work on a sequel to the Piping Hot Bees. So anyhow,
That's really cool.
that was my excitement for the week. Yeah, that he just out of the blue reaches out to me again.
Yeah, that's neat. He actually was a Zoom speaker at our Missouri State Conference. He gave 2 talks. Unfortunately, I was not able to sit in on either one. We were given a presentation at the time on one of them, and the other one, I was tied up with some board stuff or something like that at the time, so I wasn't able to see that one either. I was kind of wanting to be able to sit in on at least one of them and see what that looked like. But I know he does not travel anymore. I don't think you can actually get him to travel as far as giving any talks, but you can get him to do Zooms. And he had agreed to do 2 Zooms again for our Missouri State Fall Conference there. And again, unfortunately, I was unable to attend those, but was actually kind of looking forward to it. But that's kind of neat, Rob. You have to follow up and let us know how that works out.
Yeah, he in his one book I was reading when he was talking about how bees can do geometry, where they can figure out the volume of a cavity by walking around in it. And as one professor said, you got to think outside the box. And so they came up with a round cylinder. Think of this, like a round pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And they put bees in it, and the bees were able to measure. And I was sitting there thinking, as soon as I read it, I was like, how do they figure out? Because there's no corners. Like they're going to go round and round and round. How in the world are they going to measure that? And then later, Tom Seeley mentions that his conclusion is that they're able to orient themselves inside the pipe based on the entry hole where the light comes in, that they know when they hit the light versus when they went around and came back to the light. And because of that, they could orient themselves. And I thought, wow, these things are like way smarter than we give them credit for.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah. You need to take them to a job site and have them measure materials and areas out for you, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if only they could talk, right?
Yeah, a lot more accurate than a tape measure or something or laser.
Yeah, we'll have blueprints for this house in no time at all. Dump out your high.
I'll send the bees out to go measure it. They come back and communicate it through a series of waggle dances, and you jot all that information down, right?
Yeah, but yeah, pretty amazing. So
Yeah.
that's good. Well, I'm going to bounce off of here as well, but good seeing you guys. And okay, Will, I'll talk to you here soon.
Yep.
Good seeing
Take
you
care,
on
man.
here.
See ya.
All right,
Take it easy, Rob.
See you later,
All right.
Rob.
Rob, I have to make a report with you sometime.
all right.
I have to get together with you because I'm going to be looking for queens. I'd like to deal with somebody close. And he jumped out.
Yep, he gone.
Charlie can put you in touch with him.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
You guys could have a good conversation about creamed honey too. I know he'd enjoy that.
Oh yeah, that creamed honey conversation, Will. I don't think you were on then. You may have watched a replay. When was that, Charlie? Was that last week?
What's
We-
that?
Yeah, I was watching.
a week ago. A week ago or two, not more than 2 weeks ago, we had a pretty detailed conversation specifically revolving around creamed honey
Mhm.
and everything in the small details of that.
Yep.
Yep.
He's
No,
a pretty meticulous
watched
guy.
a good part of it.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was talking about natural creamed honey versus regular creamed honey and all that stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I like Rob. He's a really meticulous guy, and he is very educated in a lot of areas of what it is that he does. Even though he's
Well,
not
very
some big,
particular.
huge commercial, operator, he still understands what he's doing in every area. So
Yeah.
Well, he is a commercial beekeeper. Just he does a lot of different things. He does bees as a living in multiple ways.
yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that he wasn't a commercial. I just meant he wasn't a commercial beekeeper
No,
running
he's
10,000 colonies. But yeah, no discredit to what he's doing.
Yeah.
No, he's commercial. He's down there in Georgia, like 5 months out of the year. I mean, he's spending a lot of time down there. His bees are down there now. There's no doubt about it. And that, he's on top of it.
Yeah.
So I need to get tied in with somebody that's doing queens and stuff like that, more regional and that, because he's in the Carlisle area and that, which is a little more west and southern than me, but still getting the same environment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure he could get you squared away.
yeah, I know. Will, you're down more by Harrisburg more.
Yeah, I'm down towards York, but Rob's in Carlisle there, and and Rob's big into the queens and he's even done the artificial insemination and a bunch of stuff like that. So he's pretty neck deep into the queen side of it,
And he's really into the science part of it, and that
Yep.
when it comes into the in-depth insemination and everything else, and the breeding for mites and stuff like that. So
yeah.
that's something, and it's really sad that that's 3 hours from me, but that's the closest to me I could say that I have somebody. There's nobody even closer.
Okay.
And I have Walnut Street. Will, are you familiar with Walnut Street?
Yep. I know Brian.
Yeah, he has hives at his home base. I think his family lives up here in Nicholson. That's
Yep.
only like 30 minutes from me, but he's really not based out of Nicholson. He's more down in your area, actually.
Yeah, he's right there. He's right there, Carlisle area too. He's actually, I think he's within about 6 miles of Rob, actually.
Yeah, they're very close, I think, and I actually thought he was closer to you, Will. And are you closer to Harrisburg, or are you closer to the Pittsburgh area?
I'm actually south of Harrisburg.
Okay.
Yep, down along the Susquehanna, south of Harrisburg towards York.
I mean, I knew you were right by the Susquehanna and that, but I didn't know exactly where.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, Rob and Brian are about 30 minutes from me.
Okay.
Hey, Bill, Charlie, you guys, I'm going to log out. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Hey, I'm going to text you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right,
Yep.
Tom.
See you guys.
later.
All right.
All right. Well,
All right, everybody. It's 20 minutes after 10. So we're going to.
Oh, what are you getting old all of a sudden, Bill?
Yeah, dude, it's past my bedtime.
It's past mine. Whew.
My bedtime's 9 o'clock. No, it's 20 minutes after 10. So I know everybody's got other stuff they want to do this weekend, spend time with the families and everything else. It's Christmas weekend. So I will see
thought
you
you'd be
guys
sick to tell me
Monday
by now.
night, the 29th. So everybody have a great weekend. Good night.
See you later, Bill.
Good night, everybody.